We're joined by Princeton head coach Carla Berube, student athletes Caitlin Chen and Ellie Mitchell. We'll open up with a statement from coach, followed by questions for the student athletes first. Please state your name and affiliation before your questions. Coach.
Yeah. Thanks for sticking around. We had some celebrating to do. Yeah, I'm just so pleased. So happy for my team, my staff, our athletic department, the university. We've they've been incredibly supportive of our program, our families. It was certainly just a gritty win. I thought Harvard just gave us everything that they could. They played so well, so tough, and Carrie Moore has just done an amazing job with that team, and they're a force to be reckoned with in the future, and which is just really great for the Ivy League. Just really proud of my team. These two, the whole squad, all 16. We had to put it all out there. We were resilient and tough and gritty and all those things to stay focused and poised. Going down 11 in the third quarter, and just like yesterday, you look at them in the huddle, and they're looking back saying, there's no way we're losing this, and they stuck together, and we relied on our defense once again to get really big stops, big rebounds, and found a way to score against a really tough Crimson defense. Just really happy and pleased and proud of the whole team. And thank you to the Ivy League. This was so well run, and thanks to our university for putting it on. I know it was a lot, but it was just a tremendous experience for all of us.
Questions for the student athletes? Second row on the aisle.
Kyle Franco with the Trentonian. Ellie, there were questions this week from many of us here about where you were on the bubble, were you an at-large team, but how much of a sense was it to not leave your fate in the committee's hands and go out there and take care of business yourself?
Yeah, I mean, we always want to win. We've faced a lot of adversity this year, so to be able to show up tonight, battle, obviously there are a lot of ups and downs. You never want to leave it up to chance. We won the regular season, we wanted to win the tournament, so we got it done today. It's really exciting.
Thanks. Adam Zlonka with Garden State Newsletter. Ellie, what's going through your mind when you're standing on the free throw line, 1-point lead, and you got to make those two shots?
Walking up I was on the opposite end of the court, so I'm walking up to the foul line. I've struggled throughout my career with foul shots, but we practice situations like this all the time in practice. All my teammates came up to me, they said, "You got this, put them in, they're going in, we love you, you got this." Trying not to think too much. I think when I overthink and then I really get in my head, had a great end result. So who knows? I don't know. It's great.
We had all the confidence in the world. I knew she was going to make those free throws.
I turned to Julia and I was like, Ellie's making these two.
Yeah.
Right here.
Will Damel, Newsday. I want to turn quickly to senior Grace Stone. Not the greatest shooting performance tonight, but led the team with 6 assists and then 4 blocks. So Caitlin and Ellie and then coach, what can you guys say about her leadership this year, last year, and what she's meant to this Princeton program?
Grace is awesome. I mean, she brings so much on both ends of the court. If she's not shooting well, she's making plays for other people. And defensively, she had a really tough assignment. Mackenzie Forbes is a tremendous player, and I thought she did a really good job with her. She stayed down. She had her hand up at all times. She made things really tough for him. Yeah. Yeah,
she also stretches the floor really well, right? They have to respect her shot. I think she's leading our team in three-point percentage. Didn't necessarily shoot as well until tonight, but still they have to respect her. That opens up opportunities for the rest of our team. She's driving, she's drawing fouls, and on the defensive end, she's incredible. So she's always working. She's a big spark for our team.
Yeah, she's a glue on both ends. Always talking, makes up for mistakes for others on the court.
She had a huge play at the end too, that block on Harmony, and we got the ball back. That's the type of player she is.
Yeah, she's really, really important to our success. and a great leader. Just
She is.
awesome.
She brings us all together.
Steve Silverman, Ivy Hoops Online. So Caitlin and Ellie, I mean, it was a really physical game, I thought. And I thought the refereeing was really uneven, really hard to predict. And I'm just wondering, for you as players out there, how did you adapt to that? I mean, did you? I mean, did you just play the way you know to play, or were you saying to yourselves, did you make adjustments based on the way you thought the game was being officiated at all?
Yeah, I mean, the reffing is out of your control. I think we took a lot of hits, and, at first maybe we were a little rattled, but I think we responded really well. We just dug in. We're gritty. It is what it is. I think we're used to, sometimes, I don't know, having officiating like that. So you just gotta kind of deal with it. And I think that's what we did.
Yeah, I thought at one point we came together and we were like, who cares about the refs? This is just about how we play and do the things we can control.
Yeah.
Thought we did a good job.
Yeah.
Jonathan Tannenwald, the Philadelphia Inquirer. Ellie, Bella Ellery was in the stands tonight. You might have seen her from afar. And I think about her and Abby Myers and yourself and what is in the water in Montgomery County that keeps producing incredible bigs for this program.
I don't know. The DMV has great basketball. I'm really lucky that I got to play with Bella and Abby for the time that I did. I think there's just a lot of great players, a lot of competitive leagues, and we've had a nice pipeline to Princeton. We have some younger girls now, younger girls coming in next year. I don't know how to explain it, but it's been great to see. It's great to continue that.
Ellie, I feel like you're writing this story for me. Isabel Rodriguez with the Daily Princetonian. I've asked you about offense all season, and I feel like the last 2 games have really, it's your second consecutive double-double, and you only had one prior to that. So how does it feel for you to finally see the offense come through and the confidence that we talked about all season? Just talk about that.
Yeah, it's a great moment. Like I've said time and again, I'm always, trying to get better, trying to be more confident. I think I've said it a million times. It goes back to my teammates, my coaches. They have a lot of faith in me, and they say, shoot the ball, it's going to go in. You make them all the time. So just had a great turnout, I guess. Very exciting.
Staying in the front row here.
Jen Hatfield with the next. For Caitlin and Ellie and Carla, if you want to weigh in as well, you guys win so often that sometimes you guys make it look easy, but I know it's not easy. So, what do you think, makes you guys able to finish so consistently, including in games like tonight?
You say we win a lot. We had a tough start to the regular season. We had 2 losses. I think that was good for us in a way. You can't take anything for granted. You really got to work. It's a 40-minute game. There are a lot of ups and downs. I think we drill it in practice a lot. We put ourselves in various situations. We know that, no matter what the score is, the game isn't finished until that last buzzer sounds. I think we have a lot of trust in each other. We work really well together. And I think it's just a lot of effort. I think that we just always want to outwork the other team. So that's what we try and do.
I think we do a really good job of coming together in those really important minutes of the game and really key points of the game, and we really just sort of look at each other and we just know it's time to go, and we really play well as a unit.
Yeah, I'll say that when the chips were sort of down in the middle of the season, not even talking about this game, but at Harvard and against Columbia, and then some of our games in the non-conference, we didn't come together like we are now. So this has been a work in progress, and just because we saw success last year, it doesn't just roll over into the next season. It takes time, and it takes just work to develop the important chemistry that you need. And they did that, and they like I said yesterday, they come to work and they love to play together. They love the game, and no matter what's happening in the game, down 11, or we need to make free throws, whatever, they're connected and they're together, and I'm just so happy that it's come together when when we needed it to.
Caitlin and Ellie, feel free to chime in and coach as well. I'm just curious about first year Madison St. Rose. I mean, she's had quite the season. And just for her to play so well on kind of this kind of a stage, what does it mean for the future of the program and you guys moving forward?
I mean, I'm excited to play with her next year. I think she's really developed, especially, like, even within the past few games. Like, she's really played much better defense, and she's talking, and I think we're all playing much better together. And I'm looking forward to playing with her next year. I mean, she knocked down some big free throws at the end of the game. She's great, yeah.
I think also one of the best things about Maddie is she's so composed the entire game. You know, no matter how she's playing, she's just very level-headed. And I think that's really unique for a freshman. You know, I know sometimes we are running around like chickens with our head cut off.
You were as a freshman. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So to have a freshman like Maddie who's so confident, we have so much confidence in her. You know, she grows every game, especially on the defensive end. Like, that's big for us. It's going to be big next year when we lose a lot of our senior leadership. So to have her step up again next year, and our younger girls will continue to look up to her, that's really big for us.
So it's back to the NCAA tournament, and last year was a great run for you guys. You won a game, almost won a second game against a team that, geez, is like a Final Four contender. What can we look forward to in this year's tournament? What are you guys thinking about making a run this year in the NCAAs?
I think last year we really put ourselves on the map. You know, I think it's great for Ivy League basketball. It shows that, you know, the Ivy League, it's a real competitive league. We can compete with these big programs. I think we just kind of scratched at the surface of what we can do. So, you know, we're excited for the opportunity. Whatever happens, you know, we'll see. But we're going to give it our all. It's going to be a good fight.
Yeah, I think we're all super excited. I mean, we got that feeling after losing to Indiana last year. We were like, we want to win one more game, and like we want to be in the Sweet 16. So I think we're going to use that and like hopefully have that help push us into the next round too.
Coach, would you be willing to comment on this as well?
I am really just enjoying winning this Ivy League tournament. And then tomorrow when we, you know, are part of the selection show, then we'll, it'll just be exciting. And yeah, we're just going to take it one game at a time like we do during the regular season. And yeah, that experience that we had last year was amazing. And there's a lot to keep building on, and just exciting to, you know, kind of get out of the Northeast maybe area. I don't know, and we'll see. See some different competition. You know, like Harvard 3 times and Penn 3 times. So it'll be exciting wherever we land, and looking forward to the opportunity.
Mel?
Or Villanova.
To play Villanova again? Is that the one you're talking about? Sure, I will play anybody. You know, we'll see where it, where they put us. Excited. Villanova's a very, very good team. Maddie Segrest. If it's not Caitlin Clark as the National Player of the Year, it should be Maddie Segrest. She's been just amazing. Aaliyah Boston too. There's so many great players, and Caitlin Chen. Whoever it is, we'll look forward to the challenge.
I'm just curious about the full court press that you guys put on at the very end of that. I'm not gonna let you get away without answering about this one, but it seems like you guys have faced a lot of full court presses throughout the year, from Texas to Harvard and Columbia, and everybody seems to want to do that. But for you guys to go out in the court and execute one yourselves when it mattered the most, I mean, what was going through your heads during that?
I mean, we sort of joke about in practice when we work on it, and we're like, maybe we shouldn't really work on it, and we should just, throw it in there in the game because that's sort of when we execute it the best, when we're all just sort of running around with our heads cut off, but like sort of with a purpose to get the ball. And I feel like it's just about having that like energy and momentum that like propels us when we do the press. So, I mean, I think it's always fun.
Like you said, like we don't press very often. So on the times that we do, I think it really kind of shifts the momentum. It kind of throws our opponent off. You know, we don't like being pressed either. So to kind of turn the tables, it's, you know, a good change of pace.
And then just lastly, just about Julia Cunningham. I mean, how big of a presence she had both in that press and outside of it, and how much she means to the program.
Not enough good things I can say about Jules. We're really lucky to have her, for me to have played with her these past 3 years. You know, she works on both ends of the court. I don't think she gets enough credit for how good of a defender she is. You know, she's chasing, she's doing everything. She's talking, and then she's attacking, you know, finds open teammates, makes great shots herself. She's really important for us. She's definitely, I know Grace is the glue. She's also the glue.
Yeah.
So much glue.
Yeah.
So much glue on this team.
Yeah, just super glue.
Yeah. I mean, Jules gets her hands on everything, and she gets so many tips, gets us in jump balls. She's so important. Like, I can't emphasize that enough. And I mean, she's just a great person, too.
Yeah. I say we're just really fortunate to have such a great senior class. Julia, Maggie's been amazing, and Grace and Lexi and Kira, and to you know, send them off in our last game in Jadwin with a win was really special. Yeah, Julia and Maggie have been our captains and just been amazing leaders, and have shown these two, who are, you know, up and coming leaders, just how it's done and how you go about your business, and how you inspire your teammates, and what, you know, what work ethic looks like. And yeah, that whole class has been through a lot, right? Through some tough times with COVID and whatnot, and but they're yeah, just have left us an amazing legacy.
Do we have one more for the student athletes?
Hey, Justin File from the Princeton Alumni Weekly. I was just curious if, because the game was kind of similar in the last part as the last Harvard game, if it ever came up in your heads or even said anything in the huddle at, you know, the fourth quarter when you guys were staging a similar comeback.
I don't really think we were thinking about the last game. I mean, we've been through a lot of game situations like that kind of throughout the year. We knew we could get it done. We just kind of had to dig in. So we were just focused, you know, one play at a time, get a stop, be composed. Let's finish strong.
Caitlin, Ellie, thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Carla, I think I asked you what I asked Ellie last year, and I think I asked Abby too, but I'm going to ask you again a little differently. Not only what is it about this pipeline of bigs that you've got from the DC area, but how important is it to you and the system that you run that you've now got this pipeline?
Yeah, there's just really good basketball down there, really good high schools, and yeah, great student athletes that are interested in Princeton and in the Ivy League, and yeah, I'm not sure why it's as good as it is. I guess there's a big population of people in that area, so but they love their women's basketball, their girls basketball, and there's such great AAU programs that come out of there, and we've been lucky enough to have quite a few of them. Bella and Ellie played for the same AAU program, and yeah, it's just great basketball, and we're fortunate that they're interested in Princeton.
If I can follow up real quick, how important is it to sort of the system that you run and the style of basketball that you want to play to have that?
To have those kind of players, those athletic and versatile and play really hard. I mean, yeah. I mean, I certainly, when I'm recruiting, I'm looking for a certain player, a certain post player, what they look like, a guard, and yeah. I mean, Ellie fits the bill like 100%. I'm so happy that she's scoring a little bit, but the way she impacts the game on both ends of the floor, it's just amazing and fun to watch. And I get to watch it every single day in practice, because what you see in games is what I see in practice. And sometimes I'm like, Ellie, stop diving. Like, let's take care of our body. So, but yeah, I mean, that's certainly the type of player that, I like to coach, and that they're successful together.
We'll stay in the front row.
Carla, just to follow up on what you were saying in your opening statement about Carrie and Harvard, you're kind of the standard bearer in this league for first-year head coaches having success. But, how hard is it to do what Carrie has done this year, and how have you seen that program, obviously a great foundation under Kathy, but grow this year under Carrie?
Yeah. Well, I think she was dealt a really nice hand the way I was dealt a hand. I've watched and known Maggie McCarthy for years, because she's from the Boston area. To have leaders like her and Mackenzie Forbes, I'm sure she felt like she was in, had some good players. But it's not easy, because you take over for a legend with Kathy Delaney Smith, and you try to make it your own, and with your own thoughts, but you've never been a head coach before, and you're sort of just adapting and changing, and she was dealt a tough hand with a lot of injuries, and I think she's just a really great leader. I follow her on Harvard women's basketball on social media, and you can just see how much her players love her and love playing for her, and that just speaks volumes about just the culture she has, and the players that play hard for her. Like I said, I think she's going to be a really successful coach for a long time.
We'll go to Doug right behind you.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Two-part question. The first one is just, you guys were down 11 and things were going all their way, and you didn't panic. Your team didn't panic. What did you say to get them to start turning around and have that 17-4 fourth quarter run?
Yeah, not a lot different than what I normally say to them. Let's get stops. Let's just get focused, and here's how we want to play these ball screens a little bit better, and things like that. So some tactic stuff, but for the most part, it was just play together, get the stops we need. Here's what we need to move more on offense. We got very stagnant in the third quarter and parts of the second quarter, and we've got to just share the ball and make plays for each other. And finally, our defense woke up, and it was so much better, and we rebounded better. I do think our press sort of changed sort of the momentum a little bit. We got some, they got some turnovers, and it was nothing, that we haven't said all year. They just came together at the right time to pull that out.
And the second part is, you've been around this league for a couple of years now, and you've played some pretty good teams yourself this season, non-conference. Mm-hmm. This league worth a second bid to the NCAAs when it comes out tomorrow night?
Yeah, I hope so. I think Columbia's put together an incredible season. They certainly deserve that bid. So we'll see. My fingers are crossed for them. I think it would be amazing for our league, and something that they deserve and we deserve as a league.
Coach, I want to ask you how satisfying it is to look back on an 0-2 start to the Ivy League season. You dropped your opener to Harvard, the very team you come back and beat tonight. Yeah. You then lost the second game to Columbia, a team that you beat later up there at their gym. Is the revenge tour now complete? And again, just, are you feeling any sense of vindication over? There were some people who were sort of not writing off Princeton basketball, but talking about a changing of the guard. And here you are, cutting down the nets for the second time in a couple of weeks. How does that feel in terms of vindication?
Yeah, I'm not on any revenge tour. We're just, playing one game at a time. And Yeah, I mean, it's kind of full circle that we started with a loss at Harvard, and now we finished with a big win against a really great program. And I don't really look at that stuff, or it doesn't really bother me if I love that that people are talking about the Ivy League, and that there's parity, and that these programs like a Columbia and a Harvard and a Penn, and that they can win this. There's, it was so close. Harvard almost won this Ivy League championship. And so I think it's great that the league is being talked about. And I'm just happy that we're back at the top. We talked about climbing this mountain that we, sort of started at the bottom in, late December, and just kept climbing. It's kept just working and getting better. And now, we are at the peak, and with both the regular season and the tournament. And I just pay attention to us and how we're doing, and making sure that our players are having a great time. They're having a great experience. They're playing together, and they're playing, the best basketball that they could be playing.
Hey, Coach. I just wanted to ask about, there was a moment, I think it was close to the end of the fourth quarter, where Maddie's kind of starting to press, and I looked over at the bench and I noticed Lexi Weger is stood full up with her hands above her head in the air, and I just watched Madison kind of move her hands slightly forward, higher up.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just curious to know a little bit more about what Lexi's meant to the program, and how big of a deal it is that players respect her like that.
Yeah. Lexi's another glue, a heart of the of our team. She takes to heart how important her role is, and it's not a big role in games, but from the bench, every day in practice, she's incredibly important. She's sort of the captain of our scout team, and she knows the other team's plays, and she knows what they should be doing. And I think she's going to have hopefully a career in coaching, and because she just understands the game so much. And but she's been amazing, during her the 3 years that I've had with her. And I think our players listen and respect her, and she bleeds orange and black and loves this program so much. So she does everything possible to help us be successful.
We have time for one more.
Thank you. Lucky me with the last question.
Yeah, better be good. No.
Oh, it is. No. Carla, your teams have won plenty of Ivy League championships now. What about this particular team differentiates itself from recent teams, recent past? Is it the adversity that we've talked about back and forth tonight about the 0-2 start, or what else? All the glue that you've been talking about?
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly has been different. It was not easy. Not to say the other two were easy by any means, but it just, we struck some, adversity early in the season, or early in the Ivy League season. And that's, I think, makes it, really sweet that, we came from that point, and just came together. And like I talked about, it was really important for us to, do it together and figure this out together. I can't say enough about my staff. They're incredible. I get to sit up here, but they do so much work behind the scenes, getting our team prepared and watching film, and Lauren Batista, my assistant, works with Ellie all the time on her shots, and talks about her free throws. And so there's so much, that goes on, behind the scenes with them. And so it just makes this really, really sweet. And I'm really happy and proud of the whole program, because it's not easy. Winning this is definitely not easy, and it took a lot. And so, just really, really proud of the whole crew. Thanks.
Coach, thank you. Congrats. Best of luck in the tournament.
Appreciate it.